really seeing them.
Hey, happy afternoon, everybody. You just joined the Wicked Lady Hippy at the bar, and we are live. The bar's at my house. Uber misses me. I was watching behind me while I was setting up, and I wear all the hats. I was watching Keanu Reeves speak to um, on his podcast about the waking visions he's been having with Jesus about, in particular, the seniors and the role we play in tribulation. And he has given us a date of December 25th, 2025. Now, I've only seen a couple of these. This is new, I think, for Keanu Reeves, but I adore that young man. He's given so much of what he has earned away to very good causes. And if he sees a homeless person and he's on his way to McDonald's, he'll get them a coffee and breakfast as well, and just come and sit down and eat with them. He's an amazing young man. He's been through a lot of grief. His wife, his child, his mother, his sister, just he kept getting hit, just bam, bam, bam. And he's a wonderful guy. And he's done a lot of this type of charity behind the scenes. He doesn't want to be known for any of those things. It's anonymous. He doesn't want any credit for it. These are definitely the beginnings of sainthood in some ways. I loved him on all of his movies. I've been watching him forever. Um, and he too had noticed and was speaking about the fact that he has noticed the grays and the wrinkles forming. I could drop these in as clips, from there, but I just, if you guys haven't seen the clip, dash over. Let me know if you want me to drop it in. Whoops, I forgot. We are now on live chat. If you want to pop in, I do wear the hats, and unfortunately, sometimes, especially in sound, I get it off just a tidbit, and I sound like I have an echo. So bear with me. Let's see. And whoops, this thing's just gonna go. Let's see, Army veteran, published author, been around the world and back, had a blast doing that. I love this medium. It's free and it allows us, all of us, our freedom of speech live. We can talk to each other. We can make these. You can look at it later. You can make a comment. You can subscribe, please. I don't make anybody doing this. Retired now. I just think it's such a wonderful medium to speak to anyone in real time, and it's free. And I fear now that I've seen what has happened yesterday in the United Kingdom that certain social programs won't be allowed. Um, I don't know the extent of this, but already they were like not freedom of speech. If you posted something that your neighbor didn't like and they called the police, you were going to jail. This is the United Kingdom. I don't understand it. But then again, I didn't understand them closing London down so that Muslims could have a march about Palestine. Ambulances couldn't get through. I saw it. It was live. I was like, what the absolute holy. And then I guess I'm like a few others. I'll drop a video if you guys want. Personally, when I'm watching, and there are several that I love, there's several. There's just several. In any event, they do every once in a while. They'll pop in one small clip and maybe two, but maybe they're mainly they're just talking about what's going on, and that's the great part. I think it's like social Woodstock, but no mud. It's free. But you can get up here and tell me, okay, you're being crazy. Let's not talk about this or that. I don't care. Just pop in. I love all kinds of stuff, and anything and everything is on the table. Whatever you want to talk about, or we can look into. It's just such a wonderful way to continue to deal with people. I have another new dress. It's cute. It's got the little. I'm trying to look through. It goes all the way down. There we go. Close enough. So the ladies know what's going on here. Since I had that horrific accident last September, I have graduated mainly either to wider slacks at the bottom instead of the jeans and long dresses or mid calf to low calf because of the scarring and just it's easier. And at my age, it's kind of okay. I can wear these because really can't tell how big I am in these. Yes, you can. I just I tell myself, you're 60 something, go in the closet. My closet goes, get out. Get the hell out. Buy some new clothes, fat ass. So I did. I bought a whole bunch of new clothes last year at Christmas. We had a friend stay with us. Actually, she's been my friend for years, but she's my granddaughter's other mother or grandmother. She's my daughter in law's mother. And we just get along like a house on fire, have for decades. And it's just a weird thing that, yeah, because I've known my daughter in law since she was in high school. Oh, no, actually, I think she was just about starting college when I met her. But it's been decades. My kids are not kids. I say they're kids. They don't like it when I do that. I don't care. They actually always want just gift cards so they can get what they want. And I went along with that for a little while. And then I kind of, after my injury and stuff last year, I kept thinking, if you don't like a gift I gave you, I'll take it back. I will get the money back and I go buy me something. When I was growing up, if you looked like you didn't like something, it was come on back here behind the woodshed, Though I never got hit or anything. It was just very explicit. I was adopted at 9 and by parents who were 1914 born. So World War One, Depression, World War Two. They used to run moonshine. Daddy did with his brother. Great people. But I was already 9, and I left at 17 for the army. So didn't stay very long with them, and unfortunately, I spent a couple of years in South Carolina, then Texas. And as I was going to Europe, I had to call my mother and explain that I was now married and expecting a child because it all came together at the same time. So she was a little shocked, but she was a great lady, and you're good to go. So that's a hard one to call your parents about, even if they have only adopted you. So that's a bit of my background. I've been, of course, I get up here. I try not to talk about politics and religion. And oh dear God, there's nothing left to talk about anymore. That's all you see. That is some Christmas movies that it's quit making the same one with different actors. Somebody go watch The Bishop's Wife. If you hear me or you see this video, watch The Bishop's Wife. It's a black and white movie with Cary Grant and no, not Cary. Is it Cary Grant? I think it's Cary Grant. Anyway, and David Niven is in it. I can't remember the young lady's name. Just look up The Bishop's Wife and watch that movie. It is wonderful for Christmas time. My son, who I will not name, of course, and his wife every year put on this. I don't know what it is. Can't think of the name of it. The little boy with the glasses. It's not the Home Alone one, but it's the same movie. And I've been telling, especially my daughter-in-law for years, watch The Bishop's Wife. She would like it. They've not done that. I've even asked them to put it on while I'm there. They just, they don't care. We're old. Now with Keanu, he's saying that there are 5 places that the older generation need to be or help with, something along this line, in his vision about the older people, that they were really part of a weapon, that they, and I'm retired, I'm old. So I'll put this in the vernacular of me, that I have seen things, that I've known when I've been wrong, that I know right from wrong, that I don't believe in organized religion. He did not say that part. That's me. And so right now, just don't take it as he said it, take it as I said from what I heard him say. Okay. Um, yes, that's true of me. I believe that's true of a lot of my generation. Please pop in and talk to me. Let me know. I'm sure there's some Keanu Reeves fans out there because this boy is a miracle in and of itself. So yeah, I want to know what that's about, and I've seen 2 of his videos now, and they've both been directed at my generation. I call my generation the hippie generation. My brother, who was 13 years older rather than me, was the baby boomer, as far as I'm concerned. And so you definitely have an idea what they're talking about when they say baby boomer, which actually I think goes up to 1960, which would include me. I don't know. I cut it off in 1950, so to me, it's like a decade. I think they give it two. In any event, yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's been ticking the boxes. And I also have, usually every time I'm at the bar, I don't smoke, can't do it. My husband lets me have my little cigars, my cigarillos. A friend of mine came up here to the bar, pulled one out. I had to try it, tried it. I was like, yeah, it's like being back in Europe. And it goes out. I'll light it and it'll go out while I'm speaking. So I'm not sitting here smoking, 30 cigarettes a day. And they come in 5 a pack, and my husband will get me a pack so that I can have them when I'm on the air. This is a stiffener. You can't see it, I don't think very well. It's kind of engraved in my Scottish clan crest. And yes, I found out I was Scottish. The red hair and green eyes was never a clue. So, yes, I do know some of my background, but only by the DNA. I did meet the real parents and the siblings, had 2 half brothers. And, about the only thing I have to say about that, I'm fidgeting, is if you're adopted and you are looked up by your real family, run. Don't stop for clothes, nothing. Grab the animal on the way. Get in your car, go to another state, change your name, dye your hair, get a whole new phone, but run in the opposite direction. I see this stuff all the time on the television. I'm going to have my stiffener. I'll show you what they're in a minute. They are great. Mm. I like my whiskey on the rocks. This is a whiskey fireball. And my husband gets these for me. They're cute. They're little airplane size. But I had someone, I can't remember who offhand, it was someone I know, thought that I was drinking too much while I was doing my video. And I was explaining that there's a lot of water in there. And I only had another ice cube. I'm at my bar. This is a huge bar. It's Remington. It's a Remington bar. It's huge. We designed the whole bottom of the house around the bar. This was 2 years ago. Yeah, we had just gotten it. My husband thought it was a small one. He was just going to stick it in the corner. Everything had to come out of the house. We had to get a pod, take everything out. And he had already done wood floors and painting for me because I had been doing the carpet cleaner, a lot. He just beat cancer stage 4, and I was constantly keeping the house sterile. I mean, every day. It was because he couldn't come out of bed either. And then he's good. He's good to go ring the bell. He hasn't had a relapse, nothing. It's been great. So he wanted a bar. And I wasn't about to tell him no. And once he got here, he called me from where it was and he said, honey, it's not a little bar, it's a big bar. Could you get Nathan to come over to help me bring it in? I'm like, how big is this bar? He says, I can't tell you. I got to show you. But I can tell you this. I'm picking it up from a home that is listed for $6 million. And the grandfather is helping me load this bar and tie it down because he thought it was a small one. He was just going to slide it in the truck. So he had all this stuff. And yeah, so everything came out. We had to leave the bar in the middle of the house and try to get around until the pod got here so we could get everything out and start redesigning all the furniture. So we had to buy new furniture for the dining room and the living room, which we extended and made one. You've seen all these on shows. No, we did take some photographs and stuff as we did it, but I love it. We had to get rid of the dining area, but he bought me this huge china cabinet, and I had 2 or 2.5. So I had a lot of things that were in the cabinets under glass. So he got rid of those, and he's got me like a wall. I call it a shrunk, like they were in Germany. It's just like half the wall, but it takes up very little space, and everything fits in it. So I had 12-piece china sets, 2 of them. that are older than my son, and it's decades and decades. And my kid doesn't. Neither of our children. I have a stepdaughter. She has 3 children. Her oldest boy went to Fort Sam Houston. I used to train him there. He's a medic, and he's now a medic in Korea. Apparently, everybody goes to Korea. My grandson, right out the gate, my other grandson was in Korea. He's back home. He got out of the army, and I don't blame him. So, I mean, he said he was doing that because his grandma was army, and I kept saying, "But it was peacetime, son. You just don't know. It was all different back then." I enlisted in the WAC Corps. When I arrived, my plane landed. I was regular Army. We were told, you will train with the men, you will do what the men do, or you can go home now. And I'm like, screw you. I didn't fucking come up here, goddamn. Fuck you. I can do what a man can do. Let's go. And if I can't, then I won't be here. We made it. I told him, and I had rank, and there's a story behind that too. It's gotten into the 30s at night, freezing here, unusual for this part of Georgia. And I can't stand it when my lips do that cracking thing. I'm from Chicago originally, so they were always doing that in the winter. So I keep, one of the little things with the ointment in it. It's got a little bit of pink in it, so that it doesn't mess up the lips too much, but it feels much better. So yeah, all of this is going on at the same time as I'm trying to do a show, and I've had to redo and get a second channel because I was out for 10 years, 10 months with that injury. I'm still having to cope with it, but I can stand up and I can go to the grocery store. I can drive my car, not for long, only go like 2 miles and then back, but I can do that. I'm on 2 feet without aid of anything, and that is a blessing. Jesus definitely helped me out here. A lot of women my age with such injuries would always then have the walker, and I like mine. My son says it's a walker. I was like, no, it's got wheels. He's like, it's a walker with wheels, Mom. Little bitch. And it does. It's got wheels, but it also you can check it down and you can sit on it if you gotten to the point where you really just can't stand. And so when my husband is with me, I used to take it a lot, because I could go so far, and then I would say, "You go check out. I'm going to sit down." So I love that little thing. So I call it my little car, and so it's down with me downstairs. The rest of the medical equipment we gave away, pretty much. I don't want to sell medical equipment. I think that's wrong. And that way someone else can get it if they need it. And like our wheelchair had come from, I think, Goodwill for me. So there was a lot in this for that 10 months. My master bedroom with an ensuite, that's where I had to stay. And my eyebrows would hurt just walking into, and that's as far as I could go, was the ladies' room. So, yeah, and I counted it. There were 8 strokes of the crutches to get to it, and I counted right up to it because he put me as close as he could to the door pretty much, and there were, of course, 8 to come back, but along the way, he had put furniture, so if I just couldn't make it right away, I could stop for a second or 2 because you think that you're strong enough. It's okay, you can use crutches. You've used them before. All of us get a sprained ankle somewhat or whatever, and no problem. And this was the first day of the injury. And I'm like, okay, I can do this. And they're like, no, you better have this because I was really messed up. But when I went to use them, it was like, catch me, catch me. Couldn't walk. My good leg was just too weak to support the whole body. I wasn't in the shape I thought I was. That's because I'm not 20 anymore. And I'll have 20 in the Grand Canyon behind me that I made while I was dragging that shit around. So I really just want you guys to come in, say what you want, do what you want within reason. I am armed and fairly dangerous. I kind of wanted this one to be a little lighter, Ty. A mimosa. My husband made me a mimosa. I love pulling out the holiday glasses at this time of year. You won't see a lot of decorations. My husband decorated outside a wee bit with my injury, and we have cats. And so I had not put up really any thing for Christmas except a few things. And in the ensuite master bedroom, in that section, we have a small tree and a place to put all the guests. It really just climbs up my wall, and it's usually all mine, but I'm wrapping it anyway. I'm terrible at Christmas. So, because I couldn't get out of the bed last Christmas, without a lot of assistance still, and I wasn't able to walk on the leg until just recently with physical therapy. That one was just tore up. The ankle was detached. I had both bones in the leg. We've only got two. Had broken and separated and jagged areas, and so it was a lot of surgery. And yeah, so most of the bruising is gone. They did a great job not leaving a lot of scars. I give them credit. And they had a team on me. It was I had to stay after I broke it and had the accident, and all of that was going on. The hurricane hit on the day I was to do surgery to stabilize the ankle and the leg. Um, couldn't do that because the whole city went down for 2 weeks. So at the end of those 2 weeks, I was sent to the University of Georgia, and they saw me the same day. The surgeon saw me. I said, "This has been a month." I said, "Yeah," because I couldn't move without screaming hardly when I could move because I was so injured. And he's like, "No, you will be here at 4:30. We are going to do this tomorrow morning." And my husband said, "That's like 17 hours." He said, "No, it's 11." I'm here before 4:30. Team will be ready. That okay with you? Yes, it is. And it took a whole team. And they said it was only going to be 4 or 5 hours, and it took almost 15 hours, and we were almost into the next day. So that's something. The first team had me at 4:30 a.m. and they didn't release me till almost 9. So all that prepping going on, then had the nerve deadening the entire side of me, and that was new. They said, "So they've got you." It's just something because you're like, "Oh God, what are you people all doing? How many are you? You need all of these people." Then there were more people, and I'm still groggy, but I'm awake. And I'm like, "And there's more of you for little old me." I did get a kick out of it. And the team stayed with me up until recently, and I'm very grateful to them. They did a great job, and they've been wonderful to me. And the VA pays for that because they tried calling me a couple of times saying, "Well, it's going to be $350 for the visit," and I was like, "Well, I'm not going to do that. I'm in a referral from the VA. You better get that $350 from them. I'm not giving it to you." Yes, I am rude like that. Enough about me. See, they go out. This was in black and white. You'd think this was normal. And the black and white movies, everybody smoked, everybody drank. There was always a bar at your house. If it was a little rolling trolley bar, it was still a bar. They had everything. You want some of this? Got scotch, got bourbon, I got whiskey, just to triple me up. I'm still telling my husband I want my 12-year-old scotch. I finished off this year. I want another one. They're not cheap. But we're going to my son's home for Christmas. I hope everybody's about ready for that. It's been wild because I waited too long, and I didn't want to do everything online because I was scared that they wouldn't get here this year. Last year, even though I was a mess, I started Christmas in October up until Thanksgiving, maybe a few after that. Um, so everybody's was in last year. But this year, it just got away from me between physical therapy, the podcast, all this takes time. And so I didn't do it. And my nose it's just bothering me. It's just like itchy. And my mother used to say, if your nose itches, somebody's coming. So somebody must be coming because my nose just won't leave me alone. This is the top of my nose, folks. It's not. I didn't go post hole drinking or nothing like that. So I don't know. I saw some great footage on one of my paranormal shows, and I've got quite a few. Um, I like Slatan. Hey guys. Uh, Y Files with AJ and Hecklefish. Love you, Hecklefish. You too, AJ. Everybody behind the scenes there. He's got his he's finally got the studio he's wanted, and he's very busy doing the things that he does. And he puts a lot of effort into his stuff. So go see him if you get a chance, or if you go already. Hey, let's see, Joe Rogan, been watching you for a long time. News radio, dude. News radio. Look it up. Used to be, I would say, excuse me, go look it up and you'd be, because you'd have to go through 500 pages to find 2 sentences about something. So I love this new technology. It's amazing. You take 5 rolls of film and take them in, you get the results back 3 weeks, 4 weeks later. 99% of them were black, and they charged out the ass for the ones that they did do. So now it's just live, and it's awesome. The some of that stuff was straight out of Star Trek, if you ask me. They were walking around with tablets, and suddenly, about 5 years later, we had tablets. They were walking around with smartphones. And 2010, we started having, smartphones and flat screen TVs, and you could hang them up. I mean, it's awesome. You got a whole lot more room. My husband has to have like a 70, 80 inch, whatever the hell it is, down here. And the man cave. He's got a man cave upstairs. We were turning the opposite room into studio. For me, I don't do stairs anymore. Long story. Don't do them. So it's become like a storage area around the fact that it's also a guest room. And we do have guests that stay over. And it's also that we kind of turned them into apartments with small refrigerators, microwaves and stuff are in there. So it's convenient. You can just, if you want a snack, just put it in there. Your sodas, milk, whatever. And not running up down the stairs as much. So it's kind of tiny little apartments. We did that when the pandemic hit because I had gotten it and I was very ill. I've had pneumonia before, but I was able to fight back this time, and I didn't go to the hospital. I was lucky. But I didn't want my husband to get it. He was out long hauling, making sure everybody got their stock, so that when you went to Walmart, you couldn't go to your church, but you could get your, maybe everything but toilet paper. I don't know what the fuck that was. People were using storage bins to put fucking toilet paper in. You got to see my nose is still just like somebody's got a feather. I bet this is going out again. There's my husband. You'll hear him running in and out, and I forgot to call him to tell him I was doing it. I used to give him a heads up and say, I'm online. Hello, honey, I'm broadcasting, but you're hidden. I try to keep him out of the shot because that way he can come in and out, and he's usually full of grease. Or he'll come up to the kitchen, we have a half doorway, because the bar kind of takes that up. So hopefully he's got to do what he's got to do and be done. And I've only got a little bit left to get this in. I won't be broadcasting Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. And at the rate it's going, I'm not sure what days they're on. I'll get back with everybody and let you know if I take off more than that. I had to take a day off this week just to run around town to get to, I think, 2 stores it was. And it took us 4 hours of just walking around going, no, I don't want that. No, I don't want this. No, that's too short for her. This is, and I love Burlington. I went to Burlington first because I love Burlington. I buy a lot of clothes from them as well. I like the Oscar De La Renta section. But I've also working for a company that sells like everything. This is a gown that I got from them, and this one I actually bought. But now they send me things to try, and it's and that's my salary kind of thing. So I do that, and then I do a review. Did it arrive in good condition? How was it received, or what have you? Did you work for you? And they've been great. And so I've got others like this. Similarly, I'll have to grab another one out. This one at Start Blood just adore. This one I grabbed because it's got sleeves, and we're only getting up to 58 today. You'll also see that I have headbands on. My headphones go and drop off in front, back. It doesn't matter. It'll do it. So I generally have those on. I can see already my husband seems to have picked up things. We're still getting things from one of the companies. Is that you or me? Oh, I think it's from my husband. Yeah, it's from my husband. Oh, you have those. Yeah, those are good.
two for your car and two for mine.
That's cool. Yeah. He got some "Don't Tread on Me" thing stickers to go on the car, so you can see what they are. Yeah. He's in the kitchen. Like I said, we have like a half door left still to the kitchen, and he doesn't like to be on air. So I block things so he can get around where he has to get around to while I'm on the air. Um, uh,
Later, I'll get
okay, darling. He set them down where I'll have to figure out where to put those when I get off the air. But he's busy. He's got things to do. He's retired, but you wouldn't know it because he's always working. And I like that part because I'm retired. Oh, hell, I'm always working. I said, finally, before I got hurt, I said, yeah, I had things to do that everybody has to do. Clean the house, I don't have animals. And then outside, we have pretty much a sanctuary for any animal that comes up. But we have a lot of cats. We're on a cul-de-sac. We used to, before the hurricane, have a forest on our next acre behind us and a half acre next to us. So we were shielded from neighbors. Plus, one neighbor on this side had a huge fence too, a nice wooden fence. We know them. It's just you like your privacy. And I do. And we live always by a military base. I've always either been on the base or next to the base or working on the base, something. So we're the gate to the to the base. We're at the gate. But they have made a new gate somewhere else now. I'm not sure. I haven't gone to the new gate yet. I'd like to go there with my son to go bowling. It's fun as shit. Actually, I forgot how slippery they are. Had a dress on. Walked up, my fingernail had fallen off. I never had worn fingernails that weren't mine. But lately, since I've gotten older, I like the new ones and I won't take much time. So I've switched to those. And I know I don't have someone else do, I do my own. So I took one step in and immediately went up. He said both feet went up and I landed down and my dress just floated down with me. He said he was laughing. You got enough film. So did they. I said, but it was really nice looking, Mom. 60 something years old, you'd think I'd have known better than to do that. I didn't. But I was lucky I landed on my tuchus. I didn't fall all the way dead. There we go. I've actually started to smoke it 3 times and it's not been lit. I don't have a lot, like I said, that I wanted to talk about. Charlie Kirk, I said I would every day that I broadcast, I will mention Charlie Kirk. I did not know all of the stuff about Charlie Kirk. Didn't even try. But it surprised me when I did find out. I thought he was just the guy in campus that asked everybody to prove me wrong. I love that. And that was the only thing I saw of him. I didn't look for anything else. Turns out, of course, Turning Point USA, Freedom, I mean, there's like 4 now. And then I'm finding Candace Owens. God bless you, love it. I've watched her for years, and I had watched him for years. Just only thing I saw that was on campus. So now I know he had this big organization. Somehow he's working with Israel and stops. He's got a wife and 2 kids, and she's wearing white to a stadium with fireworks, which is a memorial. I've never been to a memorial that was celebrated in such a fashion. I say that I wish when I pass, I would like them to laugh and so forth and know that I enjoyed my life and show others that I enjoyed my life. But I still think weeping is expected. And if not weeping, and sometimes I can get away until I'm alone if I'm going to weep, to at least wear black. Um, whether you're the widow or the widower, but that's how I was raised. Widowers mostly wore black at least 1 to 2 years, if not their entire lives. My closet is almost nothing but black because we lost so many people between our ages of 20 and say 45. It was like, and they were so much younger than us. We were just astonished. It was nieces, nephews, brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles. It was a constant stream, and we were just losing people. We couldn't figure out why. And of course, we were at that age where they were in their 60s things like that were going on. I have a lovely friend that said, "You don't look like you're in your 60s." And I was like, "Oh, you're my favorite." Still going to get him on a podcast. I don't know how, but I'm going to get him. They watch mine, but sometimes I've told them I have a different channel now, but I had like 241 or so, but we say in the can already. And so some of them may be trying to catch up on my old channel, which is Lady Hippy at the bar. Uh, so I only changed it to, I added Wicked and Live. So everybody know I'm up here now. So if you see me and you want a live chat, please do. It's up, it's running. I don't know where everybody is, and I try to do this by noon, what have you, so that everybody and maybe at lunch can do it. Oh dear, now I've got can't see my screen of all things. So that's fun. I have no idea how it did that. And I'm not sure you can see me either at this point. It's just crazy how these things work. Oh, it still want me to leave the site. I don't know why. Something has popped up that I didn't do. And apparently I'm here, but I can't really see myself. So I hope that it's still doing what it's supposed to do because it won't come back. Let me see if that's it. I'm using my touch screen today. There we go. It had taken all the screen except for one small window over here. And I was like, I didn't open the second window. What? Apparently I did, which is why I like the touch screen and using the keyboard because I try not to use the touch screen while I'm actively on the show. For usually something like that will hit. Let's see. Let's see. There's not much left. I hope everybody again is ready for Christmas. We've seen some beautiful lights and things in our neighborhood. Like I said, we don't do that. I ordered a new wreath and some things to put next to them last year, and they look lovely. And we've got this little thingy that puts up the snowman lights and all that. So as good as I'm going to get at this age. And we have all of our Christmas decorations that we gathered for 40 years or whatever. Neither child wants them. We also have, again, a stepdaughter. Nope, they got their own. So I gave one of my friends, she was very poor and she was helping her grandfather. She was very young. She was working two jobs and she lived just down from my neighbor Angie, and I used to be friends, and she was just down from Angie. And Angie passed away Christmas while I was out, and when I got back, it was too late. She had already been buried and family gone, and the bank was refurbishing the house already. And I mean, she died during the Christmas season. So that was rough. But the young girl that was doing all that, she said, "Oh, I love your tree. I love how all this." And we also had the outside done. And I mean, we went all out like we usually do. And she said she didn't have a tree. And I always use one tree on the porch, or did, the big tree that was real in the house. And again, a smaller tree in the back patio. And so I said, well, I don't need all that. So I went and got the 6-foot one that I put on the patio, and she didn't have anything. So I got an angel. I got a bunch of bulbs and stuff, for her, and a skirt, some stockings. These were all extra things for me. And so an angel for the top that lit up. And she was just astonished. I was like, "Hey, now I'm not rich. Don't get that's just stuff we've collected over the years. It's nothing. I didn't go out and spend any money, so don't think that. We're downsizing. I just am not going to decorate 3 trees, and and actually that year I only decorated inside with the tree, and didn't bother putting up another one. Uh, the kids would come by, but they were just here long enough to eat breakfast or to eat dinner and take gifts home. They were done. So gotta love them. One of my friends says, "Don't you ever get tired of lighting them?" It's like, no, it means I can keep it. If I was sitting up here just smoking away, I wouldn't be able to keep it. So I let it go out. And when I want to, I'll take it back. God, that's a good, smooth whiskey that way. Mm. Yep, come to the bar. Talk to me. And if you're my age, talk to me about this stuff like we used to go to we used to go to concerts, Rolling Stones, you name it. You could take pictures. You could smoke your cigarettes or what have you. They sold alcohol there, usually beer. And you always left going, what? Talking real loud, drunk. There was no Ubers. Usually, most of us had some kind of a driver that didn't drink, and we were always close to pretty much whatever concert we went to. The Stones, I went on a radio program, so that was cool. Uh, I miss Van Halen, miss Eddie. Got to meet him in person. He was a great guy. I was stationed at Fort Sam Houston at the time, and we were volunteered to do crowd control, and they had spread us out around the stage at the very front so that nobody would be able to jump on the stage. And Eddie thought it was really cute because I'm like 5'2". He saw me slamming. I was doing some body slamming. Said, all right. And I had a backstage pass. He gave me a backstage pass. Brought a whole big magnum of champagne out because I was sitting on the corner of the bleachers that looked into the stage. They had the curtain drawn. Eddie was chasing David Lee Roth with a towel. It was his towel, so he was naked. So David Lee Roth is running past, and he sees me. Eddie does it. He runs up, slaps him again, and David's going, "People are up there," and I couldn't help but laugh. I thought it was the cutest thing. I mean, as far as it went, I really didn't concentrate on the fact that he was nude. I was laughing at Eddie slapping him. And so Eddie turned. He was like, "Hey, what you doing?" Said, "Apparently enjoying the show," which he thought was funny. And brought out the magnum of champagne, and we had some cigarettes. So it was a really good night. And after that, he would leave backstage pass for me every time he came in to town. And the last time I saw Eddie was way long ago, guys. That was the 80s. So it really was rough to let him go. So just my life has been crazy, between being in the Army. I worked in DC at highest clearance you can have. I rose in the ranks to the top. Civil service. So I've had a great life. I've had a wonderful life. My son was born in Heidelberg, Germany, but he believes he's from San Antonio because that's where I kept going back to. But he was, I mean, he was born young. I mean, he was, of course, born young. But when he was young is when I was doing major running around. This is the longest I've lived in any place. We took my son's first home, their home, because it was a starter home. They wanted something bigger, but they only had my grandson living with them. And I know his mother, and so he's got two half sisters there, and he's got a half sister with his dad. So they were able to, if they got this one, someone to buy it, they could go ahead and buy where they were building brand new homes for well over $250,000. And they have a great house. It's like 4,800 square foot or something. At first, you echoed when you went in there. They having a baby is the reason they did that. So his son was 13 when the baby was born, a little girl. Now she's 13. So this is again the longest I've ever lived anywhere, including with parents. It was pretty close on the nuns with the rulers. Those were fun. They really did that shit. I'm not kidding you. I mean, they did. For any little small infraction that you got something wrong, whack. And if it was a big one, you had to hold your hands out like this, and they were whacking your head. That's true. It's absolutely true. You try that once. Have somebody slap your hands with just a regular wooden ruler. Well, it does have a little metal in them. And if they gave you one or two whacks, your hands swelled up. Sometimes it broke in blood. They were not kidding. You flew right when you were around the nuts. So yeah, I spent 5 years with them. Uh, The first day I saw the adopted parents, they brought us a doll. And I took the head off the doll and threw it at them. Told them they couldn't bind me. I was a bit precocious. 9 years old, I was reading and doing college level shit because I didn't know why everybody else was just so slow. But I was smart. I did not skip grades. I did skip, well, I kind of combined a couple. I was in junior college real fast at Champaign, Illinois. So I could be all that, be all I could be when I got to WAC Corps training. I wanted to be, I was qualified as what they called a vocational nurse, and I was trained with them as field medic and secretary. I could type. We learned on a manual 60 words a minute, and they also would hit you with a ruler. Yeah, we couldn't wear pants till I was in freshman year of high school. You had to wear you had to wear a dress. Do you know how cold it gets in Chicago? Do you know how much snow falls? So you have the big, suits you could get in and out of like a contagion field. Now we lived about, I think, 5, 6 miles from it. We had something we called skeet. I don't know if you ever heard of it. Us kids would hang on to the bus bumper in ice skates and skate to school like that. I don't know how any of us were not killed. To this day and age, oh my God. We rode around in station wagons doing 90 up a hill and would bounce you up to the roof with the tailgate open. Still made it through it. We would ride bicycles up wooden ramps and jump over people to see if we could make it. Oh my God. But my school, my husband said it was a resort because I didn't understand it, and I was so sorry I brought my son here. Texas also had a great system of schools, and we had everything. We had swimming, we had tennis, we had oh, just everything, and they didn't have nothing. They didn't even have second language classes at first when I was at the one my grandson was going to a very small school, and I was devastated because he was, and he had started doing the violin. Um, we used to call it a fiddle because that make him crazy. But he even had his own. What do they call that? He performed alone, and he was magnificent. He was in the 7th grade at the time. Oh, it just made my heart just weep just about that. He can make a violin do stuff, but when he got here, there was no music teacher. There was no gymnastics. There was none of that, and he had all of that, just like I did. I mean, we had fencing, gymnastics, basketball, baseball. You went outside, you played tennis. They had Olympic-sized swimming pools, one for the women, one for the men. It didn't matter if you were confused. You went if you were born a woman, you went to the women's. If you were born a dude, you went to the men's because the women would fuck you up if you tried to get in theirs, which they tried several times. They probably got in, but that's where I got my Red Cross training to rescue in the water, and after they've been pulled out. A lot of my field training was also with the water, and so I was so upset about my son's education, but he managed. He's now and he's like me. He went to the top of his career. He did not go in the military. My grandson did. Bless him, and I was so glad. He beat Korea. He came home from Korea like 3 days before they shut all the planes down. He just squeaked in. So we were very happy, and we kept him here with us. Not that his parents didn't have a nice big, open room, but they had a third. Well, at that time she was 10 or so, and we didn't, and neither did he. He didn't see his sisters. He did on the phones or on one of the computers in virtual mode because everybody was so. And I had gone through it, so I had a natural immunity. They hadn't, so we had them, quarantined upstairs. But they, big screen TVs. They had fun. They didn't care. It was the same thing. The only difference being, I didn't have to cook for them. I did occasionally, but I didn't have to. So all of that was going on too. So we've all been through that. I couldn't believe how much worse it was, though, in certain places. In particular, the United Kingdom, they went way overboard. way overboard. I don't know how much money they lost, or if they were trying to help the people that were losing money because they were closed. I don't know. I loved Britain while I was overseas, and I loved France. Loved Germany. The Germans were such the nicest people and I expected different because we were warned that they probably wouldn't still like Americans. So to be wary of that, to make sure that when we went off base that we were in civilian dress and not in a uniform. But when you live, and I did because all of the housing was for people that had 6 or 7 kids that had 6 or 7 bedrooms. They didn't have any that had 1 or 2 bedrooms. And I was like, that's just not fair. So I took a little cottage that was just outside the gate. The bathroom was another building outside, which was a real hoot. But I used that. That's where I stayed. They loved Marlboro cigarettes, Jack Daniels, and our ice cream. So that's how I paid the rent. So it was a real lot of fun. It's like being here in the States and you want to go see New York and you live in Georgia, say. You could just drive up there. You could just take a bus up there. You could just take a train up there. I used the train all the time. It was, and they were fast. They were fast. Of course, back then they all had their own money. I loved that. Took a bunch home. You had to have your passport, military ID, and stuff. But it was awesome. I ran through the Louvre like for 4 days, and I'd be gasping for breath sitting in one section. Can I run somewhere? Most of the pictures did not turn out. Notre Dame, these places, Windsor Castle, some of them wouldn't, at that point in time, did not have these better and more educated ways of taking people through to see things, but they were pretty good. And I got to see all the top museums all around the world. And that's the way it was. You just grabbed your passport, changed it to American money for wherever you were going, and off you went. And they all spoke English, just about. So if you started to start to say "Streichen mein Hauptstelle," and they would say, "I know you want to go," they give you a break and start speaking English. And I missed that. Oh, the Black Forest, so beautiful. But all the people over there are so wonderful. But this is an old part of the world, a very, 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 very. I mean, we're talking millennia old part of the world. The United States destroyed pretty much whatever they could find that was Native American, plowed it down over it, what have you. Okmulgee Mountains, you can run and see them here in Georgia. That was protected, and they did make a law to protect any Native American burials, goods there or a burial period. You could not disturb it, and you had to leave everything in situ. And if you picked it up, you didn't take it back. So my sister-in-law, my husband's sister, who was married to my blood half brother, it gets confusing. People say you should write a book. I was like, if I read a book, I'm gonna tell all of them to fucking run. I'm not kidding. But I got married. I took him to Texas with me. Had been together a couple of years, and took him to Texas with me because they got stupid. His family did about my son, and decided I might not be a good mother. And instead of going and killing them, I left. I didn't need them. It turned out that they didn't like me from day one. None of them had been even graduates from grade school, and they thought I was too uppity or something like that. And I don't know where they got it from. I put my pants on one leg at a time. I don't care if you're a senator. I don't care if you're the trash boy. We all the same. When you're in the ER and you need blood, do you say, "Hey, make sure that's not Asian"? I mean, it's blood. Why should we decide that somebody's any different? They're allowed that difference, and we should all get along. I see no reason why not to. I have for years, decades. You're all so kind to me. I'm cheating because I'm about to get off. I've managed to make my hour in. Mm, yeah, it's good stuff. But I have so much extra to do. Ladies, when you retire, be prepared. You will work harder to get things done. You'll work longer into the day to get things done. I don't get that because I always had a high powered job. I always came home. But when I thought about it, I was like, God, yeah. I was doing dishes, washing clothes, sweeping floors, 7, 8, 9 o'clock. And I was up at 4 for everything my entire life. Just, I'm up at 4. I didn't even need a clock to alarm me. I just got up at 4. Um, I'm vain like that. I got to put all the makeup on, do the hair, and then maybe clean up around the house. Both husbands, I fear to say, do not clean. They remind me of the little Linus guy in the old Peanuts section, who wherever he went, he had that little dust trail with him. Yeah, they're like that. So I've had so much more to clean. And they had, like I said, the cats. I have the outside sanctuary also had to be cleaned to make sure it's good. They're in my hot house, which the hurricane took out. So it's technically a tent with heaters to make sure that the plants stay alive. I lost, I'd say, 70% of my flowers and so forth, my plants. And so I managed to get about back up to about 50%. And I'm not sure I want to even get any bigger, but there's certain plants that just grow so prolifically in spring that you have to repot them. So I've spent the entire hour and a half, hour, talking about me. So some of you guys could call me. We could do this virtual. Nobody, I have time. Don't make money doing this. Although my husband would be better about it if I did. It's free, people. Let's talk. Let's laugh. If you don't have a bar and you can't come to Augusta, get you a drink and sit down with the virtual and talk to me. We'll have a drink. Doesn't matter whether you're here or not, be the same damn thing. In the meantime, I fear that the government, I really do, that the government is going to stop this somehow. It's not going to happen during Donnie. I call the president Donnie. After all, he calls, I love Bob. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I'm running out of time. So, yeah, let's do this. Get up here. Talk to me. Leave a comment. I'll get back to you, I promise. If there's anything you do want to talk about while you see me, or if you see me, and I'm already off, hit subscribe and you'll catch me, or you'll know when I come in. Usually I do 10 to 2 now because I'm still not quite recovered from the injuries that I sustained. So it takes me a bit of time, and this is the bar, and my bar is high. I'm 5'2". So I get on my railing. There's a railing, of course, at the bottom, and you get on the railing, jump in the seat. And that's how I get into every bar. They all have the foot railing. So I use that foot railing and jump up to make up for those 6 inches I'm lacking. So I sure wish you all would come and see me. Live chat's always on. Comments are so welcome. I really do adore this medium, and I hope we can get out there and be together and laugh and just learn from everybody else. That's all I want to do. I want to see and hear people that are my age. You can go with baby boomers, you can go with hippies, whichever. I'm afraid the X generation, is that what it's called? And the millennia I don't understand them. And I have a 26-year-old grandchild, Army veteran. Like I said, the child stayed at my house all the time. He stayed here 90% of his life. And suddenly, when he came back from Korea, I did not know that boy. He was on the opposite side of every issue that I was suddenly in. And he was saying war crimes against Netanyahu and this and that and the other. We ended up yelling at each other. So my husband kind of came in and said, "That's enough. You aren't being respectful to your grandmother." And Wanda, don't hit him. I was fired up. So we took a 3-month vacation from each other. Just I don't know who that boy is. And he used to finish my sentences. We were that close. I thought my son and I were that close. Kids grow apart. You have to try to adjust to be with them. Saw him at Thanksgiving. Everything's fine. He did go the way of his father, and he's now shaving his head because the pattern baldness was too obvious. At first, and my guys always like, my son blamed me. I'm like, I still have hair. I'm the one that's older. I have hair. See, it's hair. Your problem is from the father's side. I have hair, and I'm older than you are, so I never thought I'd get to this stage. If somebody would have told me when I was 20 that I'd see the year 2025, I'd have told them they were a lie. Go out there and make it a great day, guys. We're one more day in and we got a weekend coming. Hallelujah. Amen. Anybody out there do like what you see? Grab that button, tickle that bell. Let me know you're out there, that the world hasn't shut us off yet, because I think that's going to be the next step. And we want to get out there before they do that. Bless y'all, everybody. Have a great holiday if I don't see you. Bye.